In this world, there are two types of predators, those who hunt and those who think they're hunters, until they meet something far worse. They laughed at him, shoved him, humiliated him, waiting for him to break. To them, it was just a game. To him, it was just another day in a battlefield where only those who know when to strike survive. And then came the moment when one of them looked into his eyes and realized they had picked the wrong prey. Malik Carter had been through enough schools to know that middle school hallways were just another version of the wild. The only difference? The predators wore sneakers and pretended they were just kids. It didn't matter where you were, Brooklyn, Detroit, Chicago. The rules were always the same. There were the ones who ran things, the ones who tried to stay invisible, and the ones who got chewed up. Jefferson Middle School had its own pack of hyenas: Brady, Chase, and Tyler. 3 7th-grade bullies with just enough bad attitude and daddy's money to make them think they were untouchable. They didn't pick on kids their own size. They liked the ones who wouldn't fight back, the ones who flinched, the ones who made it easy. And a new black kid in a mostly white school? That was practically an invitation. Malik didn't flinch, didn't react. He played the same game he always did. Keep your head down, don't make eye contact, move like a shadow. It had worked before. It would work here too. Or so he thought. First day, the whispers started. Why does he talk like that? Bet his dad's in jail. Think he even knows his dad? By day 3, the whispers turned into action. Lunch tray? Gone, courtesy of Tyler's accidental elbow. Books? Scattered across the hallway thanks to Chase's shoulder bump. Personal space invaded, Brady leaning up against Malik's locker, grinning like he owned the place. Hey, Malik the Meek, what's in the bag? Oh wait, let me guess, stolen lunch money? Laughter. That ugly, cocky kind that comes from knowing nobody's gonna stop you. Malik didn't move, didn't say a word, just let them have their fun, because he knew something they didn't. Bullies always think they're at the top of the food chain, right up until the moment they realize they're not. And that moment was coming: gym class, dodgeball. If there was ever a perfect excuse to take someone's head off without getting detention, this was it. Malik wasn't stupid. He knew exactly what was about to happen. First ball came flying, he ducked. Second ball, sidestepped. Third ball, swiped it out of the air like it was nothing. And then there was Brady. Hold still, Meek Malik, Brady sneered, winding up like he was about to break a world record. Malik barely had time to blink before thwack! Brady's throw hit him straight in the face, hard. Enough to make a lesser kid drop. Enough to send most running to the teacher. The gym went dead silent. Even the coach stopped chewing his gum. Malik stood there, still as stone. He reached up, touched his face where the ball had hit, then let his hand drop. His fingers curled around the ball at his feet. He looked at Brady, really looked at him. And then, for the first time all week, he smiled. Not the nervous kind, not the fake let's all get along kind. The kind of smile you see on a wolf when it finally finds something worth hunting. The gym was still dead silent. The kind of silence you only hear when something completely unexpected happens. Like a kid getting smacked in the face with a dodgeball and acting like it was nothing. Mr. Reeves, the gym teacher, finally broke the tension. Hey, you good, man? His voice had that mix of concern and confusion. Like he wasn't sure if he needed to call the nurse or just pretend he didn't see what just happened. Malik blinked, rolling his shoulders. Did it hurt? Not really. He'd taken worse hits before. Honestly, the whole thing was kind of funny. He bent down, picked up the ball, and casually tossed it back to Brady. Try again. His voice was flat, empty. That was the first moment things shifted. Brady, Chase, and Tyler exchanged looks. The usual script wasn't playing out the way they expected. New kid gets bullied, new kid either cries or snaps, new kid gets labeled a loser for life. That's how it was supposed to go. But this was something else. Brady scoffed, trying to shake off the weird energy. Whatever, freak, he muttered, rolling the ball between his hands. Then he wound up another throw, harder this time, like he had something to prove. Malik didn't dodge. He stepped into it. Snap. The ball smacked into his chest, but instead of stumbling back like Brady clearly expected, Malik caught it mid-air. One hand, no effort. The gym went quiet again. Even the kids on the other side of the court stopped playing. Even Mr. Reeves, the guy who usually couldn't care less about what happened during gym, was watching now. Malik turned the ball over in his hands, feeling the weight of it. His fingers traced the worn-out rubber surface, the faint outline of someone's initials scribbled in permanent marker. He looked up at Brady and something flickered in his eyes, something cold, something calculated. Brady opened his mouth to say something, probably another insult. But Malik didn't give him the chance. Crack. The ball left his hand like a bullet. Brady barely had time to flinch before it slammed into his ribs with a sickening thud. Boom. The dude went down, hard. 1 second he was standing tall, all cocky and confident. The next he was crumpled on the floor, gasping for air like someone had knocked the wind right out of him. And then the gym erupted. Half the kids were laughing. The other half were too shocked to speak. "Yo, did you see that?" someone shouted. "He knocked Brady flat on his back." Nah, that was personal. Brady scrambled up, his face red with embarrassment and fury. "You little—" He lunged at Malik. Big mistake. Malik moved before Brady even knew what happened. 1 step to the side, a quick twist, and then thud. Brady was on the ground again. His wrist twisted in Malik's grip, his face pressed against the gym floor. This time, nobody said a word. Not Chase, not Tyler, not even Mr. Reeves. Brady thrashed, struggling to get free, but Malik just leaned down slightly, his knee pressing against Brady's back to keep him in place. Then, in a voice too low for anyone else to hear, he whispered something. Whatever he said, it was enough. Brady's face drained of color. His breathing changed, short, shaky. For the first time since Malik stepped into Jefferson Middle, Brady wasn't laughing. Neither were Chase or Tyler. Neither was anyone else. A sharp whistle cut through the air. "Carter, let him go," Mr. Reeves ordered, his voice tight. Malik let go. He stood up, dusted off his hoodie like nothing happened, and walked away without even looking back. The moment he was gone, the whispers started. Where the heck did the new kid learn to do that? Did you see how fast he moved? Brady looked scared, man. Like actually scared. For the first time since he got there, nobody was laughing at Malik Carter. That should have been the end of it. Brady got knocked down in front of the whole school. His reputation shattered. Chase and Tyler silent. The gym witnessed it all. But bullies like Brady don't just take the loss and walk away. They stew in it. They let it burn. And then they plot how to get even. Malik felt it before he saw it. That pressure in the air, like a storm rolling in. By the time school let out, he already knew. Something was coming, and sure enough, there they were, waiting for him just outside the school gates. Brady, Chase, Tyler, plus 2 new faces. Malik didn't recognize them, but he knew the type. Older, bigger, freshmen probably. The kind of guys Brady called in when he needed to prove he was still in charge. Malik sighed. This was predictable. Brady stepped forward, trying to look tough, but his lip was still twitching from earlier. His whole face screamed forced confidence. Like he knew he had to do this, but deep down, he wasn't sure he wanted to. "You made me look like a joke," Brady growled, voice low. "You think you're tough, Meek Malik?" Malik didn't answer, just stared at them, hands stuffed in his hoodie pockets. The silence stretched. Brady shifted uncomfortably. Tyler took the hint and stepped in, puffing out his chest like he was the main event. "You're done, man," he spat. "We're gonna—" Crack. Nobody saw Malik move. 1 second, Tyler was talking. The next, his nose exploded. Not literally, but it might as well have. The sound of bone-meeting knuckle echoed through the air. Tyler dropped like a sack of bricks, hands flying to his face, muffled groans slipping through his fingers. And just like that, everything changed. Chase flinched. Brady took half a step back. The 2 older kids? They hesitated. For the first time, they weren't sure about this. Malik tilted his head slightly, eyes scanning them like he was doing the math. "You still want to do this?" His voice was soft, almost polite. Brady's nostrils flared. "You're finished, Carter." And he swung. Malik caught his wrist. 1 smooth motion, twist. Brady hit the sidewalk face first. The moment stretched. The older guys, they froze. Chase looked ready to run. Malik didn't stop moving. He turned, fists loose at his sides, body relaxed like this was just another Tuesday. Like this was nothing new. Because for him, it wasn't. The thing about Malik Carter, he didn't fight like some kid who got into schoolyard scraps. He fought like someone who had been in real fights, fights where you didn't get a second chance, fights where losing wasn't an option. The others barely even got the chance to react before it was over. Brady groaned on the ground, clutching his arm. Tyler was still curled up, hands over his face, breathing heavy through his teeth. Chase gone. Probably ran the second things went sideways. The older kids, frozen in place, because whatever they thought was going to happen today, this wasn't it. Malik exhaled, rolling his shoulders. His hands barely even hurt. People were staring now, some whispering, some just watching in stunned silence. And then, finally, a teacher started running toward them, shouting. Malik didn't wait, didn't explain, didn't look back. He just stepped over Brady's groaning form, wiped his knuckles on his jeans and walked away. Because in that moment he heard it, the whispers. Not laughing, not mocking, afraid. How would you have handled it in Malik's place? Ever been in a situation like this? Or maybe you know someone who has. Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's talk about it. And if you think bullies should always get what's coming to them, hit that like button and share this story. This isn't just a story. It's a reminder that standing up for yourself matters. It's about shining a light on real issues and making the world a better place. Your voice matters. Your opinion has value. Let's make a difference together.